Hey there, my name is TJ Yurkevich. I am the owner and founder of All In Fitness Coaching, and this is my presentation titled Stay Fit, Play Better, Your WSOP Health Survival Guide. I wanted to briefly put together this presentation just to help people better understand what their approach needs to be heading into WSOP from a health and fitness perspective, especially those people who it's their first time going. I know how that is. You have these, this is even for people that have been going for a long time, but you have these massive expectations like, oh my God, you're so excited. And you think you're gonna do one thing, and 1 week into the trip, everything you plan to do completely falls apart because the expectations were unrealistic for what you were gonna do. So I put this together. The two key areas we're gonna cover are exercise and nutrition, easy enough, and the 2 steps to success. It's very simple. I want you to do 2 things. I want you to be proactive, and I want you to be realistic. If we can do those 2 things, we will ultimately find success with your health and fitness plan that you put together for the World Series of Poker. So let's dive a little deeper into these 2 steps that I have here. Prepare like a pro. Being proactive about how you approach the WSOP from a health and fitness perspective, it's gonna be half the battle. You have to have this plan pretty much set in place before your plane touches down in Las Vegas. You can't just get here and think that you're gonna every day wake up and just like put a plan of attack together and you'll figure it out as you go. No, it's not gonna work that way. That's not gonna happen. The first thing that's gonna go out the window if you try and do that is your health and fitness. I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm talking from experience that I've heard others have, many others have had. The first thing to go at the World Series of Poker is gonna be how you're eating, how you're exercising, how you're sleeping, the things that you're gonna need in order to have a successful summer. And remember that failing to plan is planning to fail. A little cliche, and the second thing, being realistic. You need to set realistic expectations. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to put together a plan of attack that you can see yourself sticking to throughout the long summer grind. Like I said, everyone comes in here, they're all excited, gung-ho, ready to go, like, oh, World Series of Poker. And me, personally, I've done 6 World Series of Poker summers, and every single one I came into it with like a plan of how I'm gonna eat so clean, and I'm gonna work out X amount of days per week, and I'm gonna walk X amount of steps per day. All goes out the window because I wasn't realistic about my expectations. My expectations were way too high. This is a period of time where you're gonna have to be grinding so many hours if you wanna realize your expectation. And your health and fitness is gonna have to take a little bit lower of a position on that totem pole, especially if you take poker seriously. Like, this is the 7 weeks, this is the 6-7 weeks, you have to maximize your poker. This is the most important 7 weeks of the year. And then keep in mind, you also need to adjust your strategy during the series based on your feedback, based on what feedback your body is giving you. Sorry, I'm still like 15% sick for some reason. It's been annoying. It's been a few days that I'm like 15% sick. So exercise strategy, let's talk exercise first. Consistent exercise is going to be very important during WSOP, even if you have a busy schedule. Exercise has many, many benefits. Mental clarity and focus, stress management, physical stamina, sleep quality, and overall well-being. However, in accordance with our Be Realistic theme, make sure you don't set unrealistic expectations here. If you were a couch potato who never went to the gym before WSOP, don't try and come in guns blazing and try and work out 7 days a week and go work out with Sean Deeb doing his Death March workouts that he does. Don't do that. You need to meet yourself where you're currently at and put together a plan that's loosely related to the plan that you're currently doing coming into the World Series of Poker. I even put it here, I got ahead of myself. Whatever your exercise level is coming into the WSOP, try and replicate that as closely as possible during the series, even if it means condensing it down. If when you're at home, you're going to the gym 3 days a week, you're lifting heavy for 90 minutes at a time, try still going 3 days a week during the series, but go for 45 minutes or however long your schedule is allowing you to do it. If you're someone who goes to the gym 3 times a week at home for an hour a time, don't come out to WSOP and think you're gonna work out 5 days a week for an hour and a half every time. It's not gonna happen. There's just not enough time if you're really out here to grind poker. There's not enough time. Reflect on your current workout. Okay, this is an action step. I have 2 action steps in this video. This is the first one. I want you to reflect on your current workout routine as you head into WSOP. Write down what you're currently doing in relation to your exercise cardio, weightlifting, martial arts, whatever you're doing, write it all down. Come up with a condensed version of that to follow during the series. Something realistic. Be realistic about this. Make it small. You can always do more if you have the time, right? But if you set your expectations small and you keep knocking out those wins, you keep consistently doing those workouts, you're gonna build momentum. And then when you have days that you can do more, great, do more. But try and set your expectations a little lower going into the series, especially if this is your first time. Bonus, recent research has shown how beneficial getting natural sunlight is upon waking up. Try and make it a goal to get some sunlight into your eyes every morning via an outdoor walk. Especially if you're staying in a casino. You're gonna wanna get outside, you're gonna wanna get some sunlight, get some fresh air. If you're going for walks at 8, 9 in the morning during WSOP, you'll see some really funny shit on the strip going on at 8, 9 in the morning. Highly recommend it. Get some sunlight in your eyes as soon as you wake up. Now let's talk nutrition. We just did exercise, let's do nutrition. I believe that the best course of action for people to play to the best of their abilities is to feed themselves their maintenance level calories. Now, I'm also holding myself to this be realistic rule here, so I don't want you, because I don't want you tracking every single thing. I don't want you on MyFitnessPal with every morsel of food you eat during the summer. Like I said, we got to knock health and fitness down a little bit on our totem pole of priorities heading into the World Series of Poker. There's no more important 7-week stretch in the year, so health and fitness has to take a little bit of a back seat. I don't want you tracking every morsel of food during the series. But there are ways around that. I believe the best course of action is to control what I'm calling, I made this up in 5 seconds, the controllable hours. These are going to be the hours between when you wake up and you go play your tournament for that day, as well as the snacks and meals that you pack to eat during the tournament. So you have the hours before you play the tournament and you have the hours during the tournament. Those are the 2 things you have the most control over. And I'll get to what you don't have control over in a little bit. My first thing I would try and do, and this doesn't even have to really do with nutrition, this is just overall advice, try and lock in a sleep schedule that has you consistently waking up at the same time every day, roughly 2 hours before your average tournament start time. I think I saw tournaments are starting at 10 a.m. this year. Me, myself, I'll be playing a few of them. I want to have a later, I usually wake up at 5. I'm going to push my wake up time to 7 a.m. I want to be awake 3 hours before I go. If you're someone who doesn't register at 10 a.m., you know, they go play at noon, whatever, I would still try and lock in a semi-consistent wake-up time. That's going to help set the table for your day throughout the series. And in those 2 hours that you're awake before the tournament, or the 3 hours, whatever, I highly recommend consuming a nutrient-dense breakfast that will fuel the day ahead. Now, what do I mean by a nutrient-dense breakfast? This is one of my favorite personal breakfasts that contain a lot of things, some food items that have been shown to increase cognitive ability. It's not like set in stone that these things are the best things ever for your brain, but studies are showing more and more that a few of these foods that I have included here are very good for cognitive health. And during the series, it's not going to do us much harm to try eating more of these foods. So I like to mix 3 whole eggs and 4 egg whites up. I whisk them up and I just scramble them in 1 tablespoon of a very good quality extra virgin olive oil. I listened to 2 hours worth of podcasts and read a bunch of articles on the benefits of extra virgin olive oil. You get what you pay for with that stuff. If you go to Whole Foods, Lucini, Lucini is a really good brand. You want your olive oil to be at least like $25 per 750 milliliters. And it's very expensive, but you get what you pay for with olive oil. Then I would toast up 2 slices of Ezekiel bread. I would use 1 container of Kirkland brand Costco smashed avocado, spread that on there. I like to put everything bagel seasoning on the avocado toast. And then I would have 1 cup of fresh blueberries. Jamie Gold, infamous for chowing down on a lot of blueberries during his main event win. This all equals out to roughly 800 calories, 50 grams of protein, and 12.5 grams of fiber. I think this is a really nice brain boosting breakfast. You're getting the superfoods, the things that I consider superfoods. If you look up the book Genius Foods by Max Lugavere, it's an okay book. It's pretty far leaning towards keto-ish stuff, a little too much for my liking, but there was a lot of good evidence and research done onto a lot of these foods that I listed here. Whole eggs, extra virgin olive oil, avocados, and blueberries, all considered really good brain boosting foods. So I would like to see those in your breakfast. But if you're not someone who likes cooking or you're pressed for time, I got you covered. Quick and easy breakfast ideas. You can do some non-fat Greek yogurt with berries. Non-fat vanilla Greek yogurt is awesome. You can do instant oatmeal with a scoop of protein powder in there and add some berries as well. You can do protein cereal. I like Magic Spoon. You can get it on Amazon with Fairlife Skim or 2% milk, some high protein milk. Or you can just make a smoothie with some skim milk or 2% milk, protein powder, frozen berries, etc. Try not to make it a sugar calorie bomb with a bunch of peanut butter in there and stuff. Like you don't want to chug down a 1,200 calorie smoothie before you go play. That's mainly sugar and peanut butter and stuff like that. Just make better decisions. Backpack meal ideas. This is the next thing that we have control over, right? We're gonna have control over the things we eat during the tournament, on breaks during the tournament, excluding dinner breaks, which I'll get to. You can bring a meal prep company or homemade salad with you in a insulated cooler bag with an ice pack in there. You can bring a homemade wrap or sandwiches you made from cold cuts and cheese. Get some nice high quality deli turkey, some Swiss cheese, whatever. Go nuts. Like get some lean protein in there. Once again, you can pack that in your insulated bag with ice packs. Or you can bring any normally hot food that you can tolerate eating cold. I can't eat like cold chicken and rice. I just can't do it. I can't eat like cold pasta, like pasta with red sauce and ground beef. I can't do it cold really. But if you're one of these serial killers that can eat like cold pizza all the time or whatever, I'm not saying bring pizza, but if you can eat cold food consistently, go ahead and bring that with you if you want. Backpack snack ideas. These are just like my top 4 or 5 things. Protein bars, my favorite brand are Bear Bells. You can find them at Trader Joe's. They're actually cheaper on Trader Joe's than they are at Amazon. I think they're $2 a pop at Trader Joe's. They're $2.50 a piece on Amazon. Bear Bells, Quest bars, pretty much any bar that's gonna have 1 gram of protein for every 10 calories. So if you find a 20 gram protein bar, make sure it's around 200 calories. Follow that rule when you're going for a protein bar and you should be good to go. Protein chips, Quest tortilla style flavors are crack. I haven't had a bad flavor of those yet. Those are about 160 calories per bag with 19 grams of protein. You really can't beat it. So if you stock up on protein bars, protein chips, jerky, look for lower sugar options just to keep the calories lower. Jerky is a good option. Almonds and nuts. Almonds are another one of those foods from Genius Foods, my Max Lugabear, that have been proven to boost cognitive function. So if you want to pack some berries and almonds, that would be good as well. But those are just some ideas you can bring in your backpack. I'll have more footage, more content about backpack snack ideas coming out soon. So wrapping up nutrition a little bit, the main idea here is that you're smarter with the meals you have direct control over. Breakfast while you're home, the things that are in your backpack. You can go on your dinner break with your friends and you don't have to stress as much knowing that you got some good nutrient-dense stuff in earlier in the day. That's my overall thinking here. That's my overall strategy. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Just remember to keep in mind when you're on dinner break that you don't want to be absolutely stuffing yourself with trash. Don't go just eat like a pasta dish with no protein on it. Don't just slam down like some fettuccine Alfredo. I promise you're not going to feel great when you get back to the table. It's going to feel like you're about to give birth to a cinder block. Still aim for protein and fiber on your dinner break so you feel satiated and not bogged down for the rest of the night in the tournament. Go with like, a salmon with some vegetables and a little bit of carbs. Maybe a leaner cut of steak with vegetables and like a baked potato, some a chicken salad. Like it doesn't have to be a salad, but just go for something where protein is like the star of the show, and then build a meal around that. I think that'll be your best bet. Action step number 2, put together a sample day of eating during the series. Do like an average day. What's an average day gonna look like for you? What time are you gonna wake up? Write all this stuff down. What time are you gonna wake up roughly? What time are you going to eat breakfast? What's the breakfast going to be? What's your average daily tournament start time? When are you going to go? What's your tournament snack and meal list look like? What are your dinner break options within walking distance? Hint, some tall doofy dude, wrong, wrote an entire ebook on this, okay? So if you go on my Twitter, I'll put it at the end of this video. If you go on my Twitter, it'll be in the pinned tweet. But I wrote an entire ebook on things that are within walking distance of WSOP that you can go get that are lower calorie, higher protein options that aren't gonna make you feel like complete dookie when you get back to the table. Here's an example day. Here's my example of an example day of eating. This is not a typo. I meant to put it like this and it's supposed to be funny, but it's not as funny when I had a typo on the previous page. But breakfast, I'm gonna be eating my nutrient-dense breakfast that I listed before. Some low-carb, high-fiber tortillas. In my backpack, I'm gonna bring 2 protein bars, I'm gonna bring 2 ounces of a jerky, I'm gonna bring 2 servings of almonds. For dinner, I'll probably go to Chick-fil-A and I'll get a cool wrap with 12-piece grilled nuggets. Money. And then when I bust the final level the night before bagging, I'll go to Raising Cane's, Insomnia Cookies, 7-Eleven for some Sour Patch Kids, and some Ben & Jerry's Caramel Sutra, my favorite. Optional. That's optional though. That's a joke, guys. I'm not going to be doing that. Don't do that. I used to do that a lot. It doesn't work out well. Go check my Henda Mob. That strategy don't work too well. Okay, in conclusion, I want your main takeaway here is to, once again, to be proactive and be realistic among all other things when it comes to your exercise and nutrition plan for WSOP. Your goal should not be to make monumental progress in your current fitness level during the WSOP. Did I say fatness? In your current fitness level during the WSOP. I'm doing this in one take, guys. Your goal should not be like, oh, I'm gonna get in insane shape during WSOP. You should be getting in insane shape the other 45 weeks out of the year. This is the week you lock down. You do the best you can with exercising and eating, but poker is the primary focus here. Get your money up during the WSOP. Let me move my face here for a second. Your goal should be to improve on your old worst. Lopping off the bottom half of your C game is gonna do wonders for your overall well-being during the long summer grind. So if you, like my worst case scenario used to be this. If I just don't do this, that's lopping off the bottom half of my C game. If I can eliminate the worst aspects of my game, and we can talk, same thing with poker. If you take away the worst aspects of your game, you just get better. Addition by subtraction. Thank you for your time. I hope to see a lot of you out there this summer. My personal Twitter is listed here. My personal Instagram is listed there as well. It's at TJ_JURK for my business Instagram and my TikTok, where I put up videos in relation to nutrition and poker and all that stuff. At All In Fitness Coaching. My website is www.allinfitnesscoaching.com for your WSOP in-room workout guide that I created and the WSOP Healthier Eating Guide ebook. Go to the pinned tweet on my profile. Check that out. Guys, I really appreciate you if you made it this far into the video with all my mistakes and my ramblings. Like I said, this was one take. I just wanted to get this out there. Nice, easy, 17, 18-minute video. Just to get you thinking about what you want to do during the series from a health and fitness perspective. Now, those 2 action steps that I gave you, if you made it this far, I have a bonus for you. If you did those 2 action steps and you wrote down what your plan is for exercise, like if you wrote down your current exercise plan at home and then you wrote down what your exercise plan is going to be at WSOP, and you wrote down what an example day of eating is going to look like for you and what time you're going to wake up, all the action steps, the 2 action steps that I went over, if you did those, send them to me on Twitter, DM them to me at TJ_JURK. If you're following me, I will reply to your DM and I will let you know if the plan that you put forward is a good plan or not. We can have a conversation about whether what you're planning on doing is realistic, whether it's not realistic, whether it's, whether you were proactive about it, yada, yada, yada. Hit me up, send me those 2 action steps, and I'd love to have a conversation with you just to, no expectation. I have enough clients right now. I'm not even taking on clients currently as at the time of this recording. So just send me that. I'd love to get a conversation going with you and help you out. That's all I got. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate the time. I hope this was helpful. If you have any feedback for me, hit me up on any of these platforms. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, have a great night. I will see you all. Damn, WSOP is like a week away. I'll see you all in about a week. Peace.